Hello and welcome to the Capone Show. We got picks, parlays, and predictions. Week 18. We had a double header yesterday, which was cool, but we went 1 for 2 on our picks against the spread. The Cowboys covered tremendously. They put a beat down on the Eagles. However, they were playing some backups, so that seemed like a give me at that point. And the Chiefs got stopped at, the 7-yard line or something like that. They took a knee to end the game rather than scoring. Good sportsmanship, but that score definitely could have helped us. We would have went 2 for 2, but we didn't. So we're 1 for 2 right now for this week, and I have 2 parlays going into the Sunday matchups and 1 player prop. So with that being said, I'm your host, Dave Montoya, and let's get right into it. For the first parlay, it's going to be in the Chicago Bears and Minnesota Vikings game. This is a divisional matchup. Of course, these get a little crazy, a little bit heated because, they see each other twice a year. And I think these games end up being a little closer than what the spread usually says. Right now, we got the Chicago Bears at +4, and I'm going to take that. I think that this game is going to be a little closer, and I think that the Chicago Bears have a chance to win outright. I wouldn't put my money on the money line. However, I would take the spread right here. I would also pair that with the over because, again, it's a divisional game. These things tend to go back and forth, obviously, with the Chiefs and Broncos and the Cowboys, Eagles. Both of them hit the over for yesterday. So these divisional matchups tend to be high scoring, tend to be a little closer. I take the Bears and the over at 44.5, and I would pair that with Darnell Mooney over 54.5 receiving yards. All right. You pair all those together and it comes out to a +545 odds 5 times. Now, Andy Dalton is going to start for this game. It's been said that, they're going to sit Justin Fields. He's been dealing with an ankle injury as well as, coming back from COVID protocol. So, next up, we have another divisional matchup in the AFC. We have the Steelers and the Ravens. Now, this game has some playoff implications. Certain things have to happen for either of these teams to make it in. And I think they're going to be obviously playing to win at that point. They're really going to be having that motivation. Some teams in Week 18 right now are not really carrying it, whether they win or lose. It's just either draft position or seeding at this point. However, this can be a win and in situation. It's not because if the Colts take care of business, then neither of these teams make it in, but the Steelers can do it, and so can the Ravens. Again, this is going to be a close game. I think this comes down to a game-winning field goal, so the +3.5 for the Steelers seems like the way to go right here. Big Ben just had his storybook ending back in Pittsburgh. He had his final game there, and he won. I think he comes in pretty motivated to win this game and try and get one last playoff run for his career. But we'll see how it goes. So I would take the Pittsburgh Steelers at +3.5. And then I would pair that with Mark Andrews scoring a touchdown. It doesn't matter who's been at the helm for the Ravens. Mark Andrews has been their favorite target. Pair those two together, you got +462, 4 times your money. This one seems like a little easier of a parlay to hit. However, I think that it happens. And, 4 times your money. And lastly, we have our player prop this week. And I think that this one's a lock, 100%. I have Carson Wentz over 7.5 rushing yards. Carson Wentz has surpassed the 8-yard mark in rushing 8 times. There's only been 2 games where he hasn't done it. So this seems like a give me at that point. Having that stacked on top of them needing to win to get into the playoffs, I think that it's just going to give them all the motivation to play their hardest, of course. And I think that Carson Wentz is going to be scrambling around. He's going to be throwing dimes, and I think that he's going to take off once or twice and pick up that 8 yards. So right now on FanDuel, that's -113, and I think that it's 100% going to hit. Obviously, this isn't financial advice, so if it doesn't, then oh well. But I feel like that's a lock. That's going to be it for this week's picks, parlays, and prediction. We have the playoffs coming up. They're right around the corner. Week 18 is kind of just messing around with the seeding right now for who's going to be in and who's not. And then we're going to get started next week. And, it's been a good season so far. Hopefully we keep it going. That's it for this week's episode. We will see you next time. Thank you all for joining the Capone Show's picks, parlays, and predictions. Thank you. See you next time.